This video is brought to you by
Cool Grain Clothing. We done gone worldwide and we coming straight out of Baltimore. Come on down, shop with us at 215 West Saratoga Street. And if you can't come and shop with us in person, go online right now at coolgrainclothing.com and make your purchase. Oh yeah, and by the way, if you ain't cool and getting the green, you're in the way, and that's just basic.
What's going on, YouTube, fam? It's your boy Tony 2 times, and we back with another episode of the Baltimore Way, man. Before I start, be sure to tap that like button. Definitely watch this video to the end to hear the full story and all the details in the case. For the day one, fam, y'all already know it's all love. Thanks for tuning back into another episode. If you're new to the channel and you feeling the content, feel free to subscribe. Definitely hit that notification bell so you can be notified every time we drop a new video. Oh yeah, feel free to share the channel with your peoples. Everybody is welcome. With that being said, let's get right into the story. For most people, when we become parents, we want what's best for our kids. We work hard to provide them a roof over their heads, clothes on their back, and food in their stomachs. If you ask most people with a family what's their biggest motivation in life, more than likely, they will say my kids. For individuals that come from humble beginnings or didn't have the best childhood themselves growing up, if they do weather the storm and make something of themselves, most of the time, we vow to make sure our kids have it better than we did. The best schools, make sure you live in a nice community. We will break our backs and push our minds to breaking points. Working overtime, whatever it takes, just to say my kids have the best. But we never sit back and think to ourselves, what is the best? For example, if you grew up in the projects, watching hustling and shootings all day, if your kids are in a house on a quiet block, you already have gave them a way to see life through a different lens than you had coming up. But as kids get older and are not our babies no more, they start to have their own minds and goals they want for themselves. You might want your son or daughter to be a doctor, which is a great career, but in their mind, they might want to be a manager of a store. We will look down on that and think, I'm not working this hard, giving you these opportunities so you can settle. But at the end of the day, in life, we all got our own paths. You can't dictate your kids, no matter how good the intentions are, because pushing too hard can cause resentment, and it can come out in the worst way. And on this episode of the Baltimore Way, we'll be taking it all the way back to 2008 to discuss the case of a teen's resentment for his strict parents that came out in a fatal way. Back in 2008, 16-year-old Powell III was a young man navigating life in Baltimore. The young man came from a good family of Jamaican immigrants who came to the States for a better life. His mother, 39-year-old Donna Powell, worked for Baltimore County in the budget and finance office, which was a great career. And his father, Powell Jr., also had a good job and worked hard to keep his family comfortable. They had a beautiful home in the 1600 block of Austin Road in Towson. And Lowen himself was an honor student at the prestigious Madonna School in Owings Mills, Maryland, with the annual tuition of $20,000 paid by his parents. The family took trips and tried to create memories for their son. He was well-spoken, respectful, took jazz classes, and very well-versed. Miss Donna was always dressed to impress, very punctual when it came to work and events, and took pride in her son and family. On the outside looking in, they were picture perfect, but Lowen really couldn't do much, like play outside with the kids in the neighborhood, only his cousins. And if it wasn't that or academic activities, he had to be in the books. With Caribbean parents who didn't play about his future and education, which granted, paying 20 G's a year for school, most would feel the same way. Things would get touchy when in May of that same year, Lowen's grades started to drop, in which he didn't want to tell his parents, especially his mother, who often bragged to friends and co-workers about her son. But eventually, they would find out. One day in May, Lowen got out of school, and his mother picked him up. His father worked nights, so this day, it would just be them two. A conversation was sparked by Donna about her son's grades slipping, in which it got very tense. She let it be known her and his father wasn't working hard and paying tuition for him to be playing. When they pulled up to their home and went inside, the conversation continued. But Lauren had had enough. His resentment for his mother came out, and he decided to throw a punch at her. Caught off guard and stunned at what her son just did, Donna attempted to get out the house when Lauren blocked the door and continued to put hands on his mother until she was in a daze. Then he decided that wasn't enough. He grabbed a baseball bat and swung it multiple times, striking his mother in her head. Once she stopped moving, he dragged her outside and put her in a shed in the backyard and attempted to cover his mother up. As the night went on, Lauren laid down and went to bed. His father got off work around about midnight. Seeing the house was quiet, he fell asleep on the couch to only be woken up the following morning with his son striking him with a baseball bat. He jumped up and tried to restrain his son before asking, "What are you doing?" He blurted out something shocking. "I killed Mom." His father, in an effort to calm the teen down, stated, "Where is she? Don't worry, we will make sure you don't get in any trouble." He walked his father to the backyard and showed him where his mother was at. At Donna's job, it was a little bit after 8:30 a.m. and her desk was still empty. Co-workers were surprised, knowing how much she took pride in being punctual. They called her with no answer. They even called Lou in school, just for them to state the young man also hasn't showed up. Not being like Donna, co-workers headed to the house. They saw her car parked, knocked on the door, but no answer. Feeling like something was wrong, they called local police. Baltimore County Police responded to the home. They heard commotion in the backyard. They walked back and Big Lauren, Donna's husband, let out a sigh of relief, stating, "Thank God y'all are here. My son took my wife's life and is trying to take mine." Lauren was arrested as police located his mother under some debris, but unfortunately, Donna was already pronounced gone on the scene. Lauren's father suffered a fractured skull, and the teen was taken in for questioning. He told police his parents were hard on him about his grades in school, and he just got tired of it and snapped. He felt every day he felt too much pressure, and it was just too much. He was taken into custody, charged with first-degree hit of his mother, attempt on his father, and assault. The situation shocked everybody. The upper middle class family, which exuded so much success, just for it to all end like this. Donna was described as being a great mother who dedicated her all to her family. Lauren's father was a great dad and provider. Even teachers and neighbors stated the young man was outstanding. He never got in no trouble and seemed to be well-rounded. But one neighbor described the family as tense, stating Lauren couldn't play outside and often seemed lonely and bored. As the case started making its way to court, people were torn. Everybody knew what the teen did was wrong, but they felt he maybe felt deprived of being a typical teenage boy, having fun, playing video games, going out with friends. Even his father refused to testify. He told the court, "I don't want my son to go to prison. I want him to get the help he needs," claiming that wasn't his son that day. His voice and energy was off, saying that day the devil had his son, because he described Lauren as the best son ever. Despite teachers, the community, and everybody vouching for the young man, the judge pointed out his parents never harmed him or put hands on him, and pushing the young man too hard wasn't an excuse to brutally take his mother's life and ambush his father. She stated Lauren didn't seem to have too much remorse and sentenced the young man to life in prison with the possibility of parole after serving at least 15 years. The judge's way of looking out for the young man was to send him to Patuxent, which caters to young teens and men who have mental illness or just need further guidance in life, with programs making them eligible for early release. As of now, Lauren is still incarcerated at WCI in Cumberland, Maryland. Rest in peace to Donna. I send my prayers and condolences to her family. I can only imagine what was going through her mind, being attacked by her own son, the person she spoke so highly about and wanted the best for. I hope Big Lauren was able to heal from his injuries and his trauma. Losing both your wife and son is tough when you did everything right. They had it all, upper middle class. As far as the young man, I understand pressure bust pipes, but I'm sure your parents will have ravaged you to just rebel, even run away to send a message. But his resentment built up for years. The good life they thought they were providing for their son, he hated. But I want to know y'all thoughts on this situation. For all my parents out there that can relate to wanting the best for your kids, how do you do that with balance? Wanting them to be successful, but still having a normal life. Do you think it's a such thing as overachieving or pushing your kids too hard? Let me know y'all thoughts in the comments. Yeah, man, crazy story. Rest in peace to Miss Donna. I definitely send my prayers to her family. But I ain't gonna talk too much more about this one. I appreciate you if you made it to the end. This is another episode of the Baltimore Way. This your boy Tony 2 times. Love, fam. I'm out.